Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motorcast. This is your host, Dave, and I got on the line with special guest, funny car owner of the New Englander Top Fuel funny car, Paul Weiss. How you doing, Paul? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. So, tell me, first question, Paul. When did you begin your career in drag racing? How did you get into drag racing?
Well, that goes back to when I was 15 years old. I was at Connecticut Dragway for the first time, and I saw two nitro funny cars, and I said, geez, I want to really do this. So when I graduated college at 22, I bought a front-engine dragster, and then 6 years later, I bought an alcohol funny car, and I raced funny car for 20 years, and then I was getting to be about 50 years old, and I said, geez, if I'm going to do this nitro funny car stuff, I better start doing it. So in 06, I bought a nitro funny car, and we put it together, and we've been racing ever since.
So have you ever driven the funny car?
I haven't driven the nitro funny car. I drove the alcohol funny car, and that was a pretty neat ride, but that was only 240 miles an hour, and I came down with a heart attack when I turned 50, and they put 3 stents in me, and I kind of gave up my racing career at that point.
I got you now. So how'd you do it last year with the funny car? How'd it run?
We had a pretty good year this year. Didn't go as many races as we wanted to. We qualified number 16th up at Epping, and we were racing Robert Height first round, and he made a little bit of a mistake and shook the tires, and we stayed true to what we were doing, and we beat him to the finish line. And that was a big win. That was our second first round win in a row. We had won previously last Maple Grove in 16. We won first round against Jim Dunn in his car. So that was 2 in a row. And then we qualified this year again for Maple Grove, and we raced Robert Height first round again, and he beat us. He didn't take any prisoners that time.
So Jim Dunn's car, that was Jim Campbell running? Yeah.
We were fortunate in that particular race in October of 16. It was rain shortened, and we qualified number 7th. So we had a great qualifying position. We raced Jim Campbell, and they had a little bit of a problem, and we got by him.
Yeah. I've had Jim Campbell on the show. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. He's got some great stories, too.
Then I've also had John Hale on, who used to drive the Jim Dunn car. He was on my show a couple of times. He's a real nice guy, too.
Yeah. I've never met him, but, I've seen interviews of him. He seems to be quite the character, too.
Yeah, I heard his hot sauce. I mean, his barbecue sauce is real good, but I haven't tried it yet. Everyone keeps telling me I got to try it.
Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, I like a little bit of a kick to it, so hopefully they got something really spicy there. I'm going to give that a shot, too.
Yeah, he told me in my last interview when he got out of the Top Fuel Racing because he wanted to concentrate more on the barbecue sauce business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But, so now, Paul, when you first started getting into drag racing, who were some of your inspirations out there? What drivers were inspirational?
Well, when I was a teenager, I really liked Bruce Larson a lot, and in 1989 he did win the World Championship, so I was very happy for him. And I kind of liked him. I mean, he was kind of a quiet guy, and he just got it done and took care of business. And so I kind of liked him. I always look at Kenny Bernstein. He was a tremendous businessman in funny car racing and other forms of racing as well. And I looked up to him for, getting sponsors, keeping sponsors, and, running it as a business. So those are kind my two people that I looked up to in racing, and and got some inspiration from.
How about Jungle Jim Lieberman?
I saw Jungle Jim race many times up the Connecticut Dragway, and at the time I was 13, 14 years old. He didn't, he was just another person. Didn't appreciate his full abilities that he had. But he was just another guy.
Yeah, Don Perdome, Tom McEwen, TV Tommy Idol.
Yeah, those were all kind of West Coast guys, and that's kind of like where I liked Bruce Larson. That was pretty good. I liked Roger Lindenmood with the Color Me Go On car. It was a good running Dodge. Bob Banning Dodge was a good running car up at Connecticut Dragway. So, I enjoyed those cars. And, but the Don Perdome's, as impressive as he was, racing, I just didn't, I didn't relate to him because he was, like I said, a West Coast guy.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about the driver who's driving your car right now.
Mike Smith is a second-generation funny car driver. His father, Paul Smith, I guess you could basically say he grew up with the funny cars. He had raced funny cars from the 60s and well into the 2000s. So his son, Mike, brings a lot of experience, that his father had bestowed upon him. They trained a lot of drivers to race cars throughout the years, and he brings a lot of experience, and he's a cool driver. He doesn't get rattled, and doesn't drive over his head. He knows what he's doing. And, I'm fortunate to have him as a driver. He's been with us since day one in the Nitro car. We started running national event in 2011, and he's been our driver at all the national events and match races since then.
That's good to hear. So now, when you first started driving the alcohol funny car, how was it like getting behind the wheel for the first time in the alcohol funny car?
Well, I'll tell you this. My first run in an alcohol funny car, I had a front-engine dragster that would run mid-eights, and we'd run it in Super Comp and a couple other brackets and so forth. And my first run in an alcohol funny car, we ran 15 seconds, and we just did a short little squirt. And I got out of the car, and I was smiling ear to ear. It's like you would think that I went 300 miles an hour with the car or something like that. I always wanted to race a funny car, and when I made that first lap, it was a great feeling. We did that at Englishtown, New Jersey. Unfortunately, as everybody knows, they pulled themselves out of the national event series and out of drag racing. And, that's kind of unfortunate. But it was a great experience for me, that first ride.
So how was it like when the body came down? You didn't get no claustrophobia?
No, actually, I felt I had more room in that car than in a front-engine dragster. Back then, we were in these ridiculously big scoops. They had these Formula 5000 scoops on the dragsters, and you couldn't see anything. So you had to kind of watch your front wheels, and then you had a small cage. Your tires were right next to you. The rear end was between your knees, and I got into this funny car, and I was like, wow, look at all this extra room, and I could see the racetrack. So it was a great experience, like I said, and I had a lot of fun with it. We ran at that time it was 88, 89, and we were running a Mustang body, and
So what was the quickest pass you made with the alcohol car?
Quickest times was a 620 at 240 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we weren't super competitive with the car. We were basically a match race car up in the Northeast, and we would go up to Epping, New Hampshire, Lebanon Valley, Englishtown, down into Maryland, to 7580 and Budds Creek, anywhere where there was an alcohol funny car show. And, we go wherever we had to go, and the car was very reliable. We weren't pushing it hard. We were making a lot of smoky burnouts and having fun with the car. And, so that was a great time. Now with the nitro car, all you do is work constantly.
Yeah, it's a lot more work between qualifying rounds.
Yeah, you have more work between qualifying, more work on preparation, and a lot more money.
A lot more money.
So, to run a nitro car, even on a part-time basis that we do it, you still have to operate it as a business. Where when we were doing the funny car, the alcohol car, it was something fun. It was a hobby type of thing. And, now you gotta, like I said, with the nitro car, you gotta run it as a business, watch your dollars. Because if you don't, you can go through a lot of money real fast and be out of it real quick. I saw some other teams, come and go since I got onto the circuit, and they would last a half a year, and they were out of business, selling their equipment already. So we've had staying power. We're just using good business sense.
Yeah, and the price of nitromethane is going up.
Yeah, I don't know what the current price is. People said it's going to go up $300, $400, $500, but to be honest with you, I haven't asked anybody what the price is yet. Maybe I don't want to know.
So where do you usually purchase your nitromethane from?
We buy our nitro right at the track. Right now, it's being supplied by Sunoco, and you have to run that particular brand of nitromethane at the National Hot Rod Association and national events.
Now, how many gallons does your Top Fuel car take?
Well, we between the warm up, the burnouts, and the actual run, we go through about 20 gallons of nitro per run. And the way that you buy the nitro at the National Hot Rod national events is that a drum only carries 40 gallons in it. So basically, a drum will get you 2 runs. And last year's price was $1,100 for 40 gallons. So
now with the Top Fuel car with Mike Smith driving, what was Mike's quickest pass with that car?
Quickest run with the car so far has been a 420 at 292 miles an hour.
Now,
we're trying to break the 300 barrier this year. That would be nice. But we're a low budget team, like I said, and we watch our dollars. We don't push the stuff hard. When we race somebody first round, we go there with the idea that we're going to run our own race, and if we know we can't beat them, so we're not going to try to soup it up and try to do some great changes to try to run rotate the earth type of thing. We just run our own race, and if they make a mistake, we're going to capitalize on it. And that's happened twice in the last 3 races. So we're going to stick with that strategy.
Okay. Now, how many crew members do you have, and who are the crew members for the car?
Well, we have probably about 22 people actually working on the car. You have Mike Smith driving the car. You have 2 tuners. You have the crew guys that actually work on the car. You have hospitality people. You have public relations people. And, it's just a bunch of people, on that. And, we have some great chemistry on the team. Most of the guys have been there since day one. And, it's been 7 years later, so we're still together. And, everybody loves it. We rubbish on the part of being the underdog. We like to get the upsets, and so it's a fairly big crew, even though it's a small budget team, and they all work for free too. So that makes it help.
So one big happy family.
You gotta have chemistry. It doesn't matter what sport it is, but it's big in drag racing. Is that if you don't have the right chemistry with the crew people, the car is not going to perform, because everybody will be at odds with each other. Everybody has to work as a team, and that's very, very important. And when everybody is on the same page and everybody's working for the same goal, good things happen. And when everybody's doing their own thing and going their own directions, nothing good happens.
Now, what made you come up with the name New Englander for the car?
That is my partner's name that he had for his funny car 41 years ago. He had a 1977 Chevy Monza, and the car was called a New Englander. And at that time, he was partnered with a driver, Bob Simmons, and Ray Goodrich got together. And they formed a team, and they were looking for a name, so they called it the New Englander. And, so Ray's been running the New Englander for the last 41 years. And then me and my brother were putting this nitro car together, and Ray got involved in it, and as a partner. And he said, the name is highly recognized in the Northeast. There are a lot of people know it. And so I said, we'll go with it, I'd really like to, have something like, Budweiser or or McDonald's or some other corporate name on the car. But, I think we're the last Nitro Funny car to actually have a nickname on the car. Either everybody has a corporate name or they have their own name. So, it's kind of a throwback to the old era from the 60s and 70s when every car had its own nickname.
Right. Like Snake and Mongoose.
Yeah, and just a lot of great names. Like I said, Color Me Gone was a great name, and Shark Corvette and Yankee Peddler Dodge, and just a lot of fun names back then that identified the car.
Yeah, US1 Bruce Larson.
Excuse me?
I said Bruce Larson was US1, right?
Yeah, USA1.
USA1, okay. Now, Paul, how many sponsors do you have, and who are the sponsors for the car?
Well, we just have, some associate sponsors. We have Camco Racing Engines in Boston, Massachusetts area. We have the Montauk Native Gas from Long Island as a sponsor. We have more embroidering services. She does a great job for us. And, we have some other people that just give us a little bit of money here and there to keep us going. But the majority of it is, out of our own pockets. That's why we're, limited as to how many events we go to a year. We're looking to do maybe 3 to 5 races this year on our own nickel. And, if we can come up with some corporate partners, we'll go more races.
Right. Now, has the car had any accidents or near accidents yet?
No. Our closest thing to an accident was our first race at Englishtown in 2011. We were going to the Summer Nationals, and on our second pass, we got close to the Jersey barriers, and we folded up the headers, and that was about as close as we got to any kind of an accident, knock on wood. One of the proudest things that I have is that out of the 7 years that we've been running, the National Hot Rod Association, we've only oiled the track down once, and that was because of a header gasket wasn't properly made. It wasn't cut correctly, so when we put the valve cover on, it just kept a little bit of the valve cover open, and it oiled the track down through the valve cover. But, knock on wood, we haven't put any rods out of the block. We haven't oiled the track down. And that's, I'm very proud of that. And the other thing is we've always managed to turn the car around and make it to the next round. Even though that you only have an hour or sometimes less to turn the car around. So, we've done that, and, like I said before, the crew is what makes it all happen. They love what they're doing, and it's a labor of love for them, and they get out and they do what has to be done and get the car turned around, and it gets out there, and it's ready to race, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Well, knock on wood, things will keep going smoothly for you in the car.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this will be a good year for us, and we can have a great season and put some great runs in there. I want to hit that 300 mile an hour number, and I want to run into the 390s. That's our goals for this year.
So, what are some of your favorite tracks to run the car on?
I don't know. It seems that I've always done really great down at Maple Grove in Reading, Pennsylvania. From when I was running my dragster to the alcohol car to the nitro car, we've always seemed to have good luck on it. Never had any good luck at Englishtown, and our favorite track is New England Dragway because we have a lot of history there, a lot of friends. But some beautiful tracks out there. I've never raced, but I've been to Norwalk, Ohio. That's a beautiful facility out there. The Las Vegas facility is beautiful, and we're actually gonna go to Charlotte in the fall, in October, and they said that track is gorgeous. I'm looking forward to racing there.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, let me ask you a few fun questions, then we'll end the interview. Ready for some fun questions?
Sure.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food is pizza.
Easy enough. Favorite beverage? Go ahead.
Nobody loves pizza more than me. That's my favorite slogan.
Favorite beverage?
Favorite beverage is Diet Coke.
You have a favorite vacation spot?
Actually, you toss up between Martha's Vineyard in the summertime and Banff, Canada in the wintertime.
Favorite music?
Favorite music? Classic rock.
Ah, there you go. Like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, stuff like that?
Yeah, and all that stuff from the 70s, that was pretty good stuff at that time.
All right. If you're able to do time traveling and go back in time, would you do anything differently?
No, I mean, I've my entire life has been drag racing, and I don't. The only thing that I would do differently, I think, is got into nitro funny car racing right away instead of doing 20 years of an alcohol car. that would be the only thing different.
Okay. Now, you have any hobbies outside of drag racing, Paul?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Any hobbies outside of drag racing?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy snow skiing a lot. And like I mentioned, Banff, Canada is a great place to go skiing. And I just came back from Chamonix, France, skiing in the French Alps, and do golf, tennis, some whitewater rafting. So I keep myself pretty active.
No fishing?
No fishing.
Have you ever been fishing?
I went fishing, when I was, somewhere, around, 8 to 10 years old. And, it's nothing, I don't have anything against fishing. I just never had time to do it, to be honest with you.
Good enough. If you weren't drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
If you weren't drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
Boy, if I wasn't drag racing, I tend to think one of the things I probably would have done was be a writer. Either writing books or screenplays. I enjoy writing, and so I think I might have been a writer.
So, what's been the fondest memory of your drag racing career?
Well, right now, I have like a lot of great memories and a lot of great stories. I've met a lot of great people, but the biggest sense of accomplishment, which created a fond memory, is that first weekend that we got the nitro car together and we took it to Englishtown, and on the first full pass, which was the third pass of the car, it ran a 4:25. We almost qualified, and it was just a great feeling of accomplishment to put this whole thing together. Nobody says that I could possibly put together a nitro car, a team, and to get it to run good. And I did it all on the first weekend. So, and that was just a great sense of accomplishment.
Okay, now, how important do you think it is for the kids to come out to watch drag racing?
Oh, it's very important. The biggest thing that we have to do, in drag racing is to support our local tracks. And, we need to get, the kids more involved in racing and get them to the racetrack and, actually get them to drive cars on the track. The sport, isn't attracting as much young people as it did 40 years ago. And, that's priority one should be, get people to the racetrack. Once a person sees a nitro funny car, hears it, you're hooked on life on that thing. It's just an incredible experience. And, we just need people to, grandparents to take their grandchildren to these racetracks and expose them to nitro cars, as well as the local cars at the weekly events.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia funny cars coming out there now.
Yeah, nostalgia funny cars are important too. And when you see a car, like you mentioned Jungle Jim a few times. There's a pair of 69 Novas from Jungle Jim era that they restored, and that's just like an amazing thing. That's like if you're a baseball fan, and to have Mickey Mantle come back out, and play baseball again, or Sandy Koufax or Willie Mays, some great player from the 60s to be recreated and come back out again. That's just an amazing thing, and not all sports can do that, but you can do it with the with a nostalgia, funny car, nostalgia dragster and altereds, or even the stock eliminator cars from the era. That's just really cool stuff, and it's part of the history. I know the younger kids, they may not relate well to a 69 Camaro versus, something, a Challenger or a Mustang or a Honda or something like that, so they want to relate to something new. I understand that too.
Right. I agree with you. Now, Paul, if people want to find what events you're going to be running, what's the best way for them to find the events?
Well, the best thing to do is to like my Facebook page. It's Paul Weiss Racing, and you go to the Facebook page, you like it, and I keep people up to date as to what we're doing, at the shop, at the racetrack, what our future events are going to be, and that really helps me out with sponsors too. The more likes that you have on your page, the more fans that they see, and we only have thousands. Other races like John Force has hundreds of thousands. The more you have, it helps you, get that sponsorship, and that's crucial. So if people want to find out a little bit more about it, just go to our Facebook page, and you can learn all about us.
Okay, well, thanks for your time for an interview, and do you have any final words for the fans that are listening in?
Well, I want to thank you for the interview, and, keep up the good work, and I always tell people that, if you have a dream, chase after it. And, me being, an owner of a natural funny car, was a dream. And, if you work hard at it and you're persistent and you just make your dreams happen. So that's the advice I can give people is make their dreams happen.
Sounds good, Paul. Well, thanks again, and I wish you the best of luck for the 2018 drag racing season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. We'll do another interview in the future.
Sounds good. Hopefully we'll have some great stories about some good wins.
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, good luck to you on this season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a good night, Paul.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.